Hey guys, I was asked a question today about cases of severe lifting and stuff like that. I've decided to file off the tops of my nails so that I can do a different color. They look pretty beat, so yeah. I didn't have any more lifting, but I did manage to file off what was very close to my cuticle and cause some lifting. And this way I can show you guys what it looks like, how far down you should be filing the nail. That right there is pretty low down on the nail. In fact, this one's further. All right, this one I've had to file all the way down to midway because I caused lifting when I was filing off my colors and my clear coat. So what I did was I took my nippers like I had showed you before, and I nipped down pretty low, and then I filed it flat to the surface. When you file lifting, you should see 0 white lines, okay? So you shouldn't see any creeping white lines coming up along the edge or ridges. If you see that when you're filing, you need to keep filing until you don't see that anymore, until your nail and the extension is flush, okay? If you leave any air pockets, and I left one here just so that you guys can see. You see that air pocket right there? If I leave that and I cover over it, it doesn't matter how well I do my nails, I am gonna have lifting again and possibly cause a fungus infection, okay? Because what I've done is I've now encapsulated an air pocket, which possibly can contain bacteria or dust or dirt or any numerous amount of body fluids. I mean, think about it, it's pretty gross. So you really need to get that flush and get all of this off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys how I fix that. I'm nipping and nipping. I've showed you guys how to do this before. Okay. I nip until there's nothing else left to nip. I left a little bit on this one too. The nipper does the job by itself. You really don't have to do anything other than open and close it against the lip of the acrylic. You'll feel it with the blade. It'll hit there and stop moving. All you got to do at that point is close. Don't push down, okay? Just close the nipper. There's no pressure, no pulling or tugging or lifting or pushing or pulling. Just basically from the top of your cuticle right there, slide down till you hit the lip and squeeze, okay? It will come off. Next thing you should do is use a buffer. And a buffer, I'm going to show you guys. Some people ask me, well, what's the difference between a buffer and a emery board or nail file? These are buffers. They have a pad between them. Anything with any sort of thickness is referred to as a buffer. These are to be used on artificial nails only or toenails. This is an emery board. There is no padding in between, okay? That's an emery board. This is only to be used on natural nails. When you file a natural nail, you should come from the outside to the middle in one direction, lift, outside, middle, one direction. Never file a natural nail like this. You will damage the natural nail and you will not be able to grow a natural nail correctly on that finger. So I'm going to use my buffer here, all right? And we're going to blend out the acrylic to the natural nail. But we're not going to overfile until we burn ourselves. We're just basically going to file it until it's flush, okay? So this you can go both ways because you're not going to cause any damage. It's hard for me to see while I'm filming, so I'm sorry guys. I'm going to come up a little closer to myself until I can see what I'm doing here. Okay, now I'm going to show you. See that white line? That's a dust buildup in a crevice. You cannot have that. You have to continue filing, and you may need to use one of these type of buffers where there's a rougher side and a finer side. Use the rougher side if you have to. Just make sure that you're looking at it close enough to not be hitting the natural nail or to burn yourself. And you just basically, you file that out until the line is gone. When the line is gone, that tells you that there is no lip there to catch any of that dust. See? Now watch. Because it's almost there. It just takes a little extra buffing and a little more attention to detail. You know? It's really worth it in the end, because then you don't have to waste your product. You're not frustrated with soaking off. See how there's no dust there now? There's no lip. You know? It's not sitting in a crevice. There's no extra lifting. There's no, you know, any of that. You just, it's well worth it. Take the time and do it right. Then I use alcohol. You guys know. I take my alcohol, I spritz my nails, because just wiping them or brushing them off doesn't get all of the crap off your nails from filing. So, yeah, basically alcohol, clean it off, and you're ready to go. Make sure there's no lips, no barriers, no ledges or anything like that. I am now going to take my Band-Aid and I'm going to go across my nails to dehydrate them. Okay, this is how I'm gonna do it, because I have dry skin, not oily. Now if you have a client who is oily and their skin is normally oily, or their natural nail is very oily, you're gonna want to dehydrate and prime each individual nail one at a time as you're working on it, so that the oil is not building up and causing an issue. So let me get my stuff together and I'll be right back. Alright guys, so I'm back and I'm all ready to go. I just primed this finger, and I'm going to prime them one at a time so I can show you guys what I mean. Oh, I forgot to mix up my mix. I'm using Huda's mix today. It is absolutely beautiful, and I'm feeling like having blue on my nails this week, so I'm using this Fairy My Dust by Huda. Okay, and it looks like this raw. Absolutely beautiful. Okay guys, sorry about that. My camera turned off, so I already put one ball on there. I'm just gonna go ahead and put the rest of it. So yeah, this is Huda's mix, and I'm absolutely loving it. Alright guys, so I primed this finger and I'm getting ready to put the blue on this one. Alright guys, I'm back and I finished all of my nails. I put the glitter on them anyway and the encapsulation. Now I'm going to go ahead and file them and shape them and put a top coat on them, and I'll show you guys how I do that really quickly. Hi guys, okay, so I finished buffing all my nails. They're nice and smooth and they're the shape that I want them to be. So again, before I put my top coat on, I'm going to spray my alcohol to get all of that filings all off my fingernails. Because you don't want cloudy crap underneath your top coat. Okay, so if you've ever put a top coat on and you notice that it looks a little cloudy, it's probably because you had some shavings or something on, or you didn't let the acrylic dry correctly. So, okay, they're all clean and dry. Now I'm going to go ahead and put the top coat on. I'm going to lower my lamp so you guys can see. I'll zoom you in a little bit. Possibly. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to finish them all and I'll come back and show you guys when it's finished. Alright guys, so I'm back and I've put my top coat on and I'm about to apply my cuticle oil. And this is how I apply my cuticle oil. I just basically take it and swipe it on every single cuticle, like in globs. Now for your clients who have oily fingers, you may not want to put so much cuticle oil, because if they're getting lifting, part of the reason is probably because their skin is oily or their nail beds are oily. So maybe cuticle oil is not the greatest thing to put on their hands. If their skin is a little bit dry after a manicure, have them wash their hands. Their natural oils are going to kick in and create their own oils. Just have them wash their hands with a really good soap, maybe a moisturizing soap. I wouldn't recommend putting cuticle oil on them because their skin and their nail beds are greasy to begin with. So you don't want to promote oil buildup, you know, in the nail bed creases and cause any lifting. So yeah, I wouldn't do that. And then massage it in like this. Okay. It's just as much about the massage as it is the oil. The massage is bringing blood down to the tips of your fingers, promoting, you know, better circulation and growth and all of that stuff too. So remember to be kind to your clients and massage their fingers. They'll appreciate you for it and they'll come back, you know, time and again. I always give a little bit of a massage during my treatment, you know, even if it's, you know, during a regular manicure. I like to give a full hand massage. There are techniques for stress relieving, pinching this area here and stuff like that. There are ways to relieve stress, and if they feel comfortable in your chair, they're definitely going to come back, you know. So thank you guys, and I'll talk to you soon.